Charles Leclerc has just unleashed an explosive threat that has sent shockwaves through the entire Ferrari organisation, leaving fans and insiders stunned. Just when it appeared Ferrari had regained some momentum with promising podium finishes in Monaco and Barcelona, Leclerc's latest startling comments have thrown Maranello into an unexpected crisis. With the team's future now hanging by a thread, the implications of his bold statement could dramatically reshape the Formula One landscape. Whether you're a passionate supporter of Ferrari or simply fascinated by the electrifying drama of Formula One, this is a development you absolutely can't afford to ignore. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe immediately, and stay glued to this video until the very end, because the tension triggered by Leclerc's alarming warning has escalated to a level rarely seen, and the consequences could be truly seismic. First signs of serious trouble began to emerge from within Italy, where whispers turned into headlines. Charles Leclerc, once hailed as Ferrari's great hope, is no longer convinced that the team he dreamed of racing for is capable of delivering what he truly wants: a world championship. While the podium finishes in Monaco and Barcelona briefly offered a glimmer of optimism, sources close to the Monegasque have revealed that Leclerc views those results as misleading, attributing them more to favourable circumstances than to any meaningful progress from the SF25. Behind closed doors, his faith is wavering, and worse yet, his patience is wearing thin. For years, Ferrari has promised. They've reassured fans, drivers, and stakeholders alike that the title fight was just around the corner. But for Leclerc, who is now approaching the peak of his career, the wait is becoming intolerable. After season upon season of strategic blunders, car deficiencies, and missed opportunities, the Monegasque is beginning to ask a question he once considered unthinkable. Is it time to leave? And here's where the situation takes a dramatic turn. Buried deep in Leclerc's long-term contract, a deal that was supposed to lock him into Maranello until 2029, is a highly strategic and now publicised exit clause. A clause that could allow him to walk away at the end of 2026 if Ferrari fails to deliver a car capable of fighting at the very front under the new regulation era. Clause, once a mere safety net, now looms like a loaded weapon pointed directly at Ferrari's future. And the paddock has noticed. Rivals are circling, and the name at the top of everyone's wish list is Charles Leclerc. One team in particular is watching closely: Mercedes. With George Russell's contract still unsigned and uncertainty surrounding their long-term driver lineup, the Silver Arrows suddenly present a compelling alternative. A move to Brackley would offer Leclerc the stability, resources, and performance potential that he's yet to consistently experience in red. At Mercedes, the championship isn't just a dream, it's an expectation. And for a driver as talented and hungry as Leclerc, that might prove irresistible. To understand just how seismic this potential move would be, we have to go back to 2019. That's when a young, fiercely determined Charles Leclerc first stepped into a Ferrari cockpit, instantly capturing the imagination of fans around the globe. His stunning debut season, his fearless driving style, and his unwavering loyalty to the team marked him as a future champion. He wasn't just another driver, he was Ferrari's prodigy, the one who would finally end their title drought and restore their former glory. But reality has been far more brutal. 7 years later, Leclerc's talent remains undeniable, but his trophy cabinet tells a different story. While Max Verstappen, his contemporary and rival since karting days, has become a 4-time world champion, Leclerc has been left to contend with machinery that too often lets him down. Watching Verstappen dominate must feel like a recurring nightmare, especially knowing that in the right car, he could match or even surpass those results. Red Bull's Helmut Marko has said publicly that Leclerc could have been world champion in 2022 had Ferrari not imploded mid-season. It was a campaign defined by promise, squandered through poor strategy and technical failures. And this pattern, Brilliant starts followed by catastrophic finishes has sadly become part of Ferrari's DNA in recent years. Leclerc fears, perhaps rightly, that this same story could repeat itself in 2026 unless something drastic changes. Italian journalist Roberto Cinchero has described the upcoming 2026 regulation change as nothing short of a make-or-break moment for Ferrari. For Leclerc, it's even more personal. If Ferrari succeeds, he could still become the icon fans always believed he would be. But if they fail, then Maranello becomes what Cinchero calls a golden prison, a place where you have fame, money, legacy, but no titles. And for a driver of Leclerc's calibre, no amount of admiration can substitute the burning desire to be crowned world champion. Adding to this pressure is the presence of Lewis Hamilton. The 7-time champion didn't come to Ferrari for nostalgia, he came to win. And from the start, Hamilton has reportedly been urging the team to shift its focus away from the struggling SF25 and towards the development of the 2026 Challenger. He understands that short-term gains in a flawed car won't matter if Ferrari misses the mark once the new rules arrive. Several Ferrari engineers are said to be in full agreement with Hamilton's strategy, recognising that only a long-term vision can rescue the Scuderia from its current stagnation. Fred Vasseur, Ferrari's team principal, continues to project optimism about the present. But if Leclerc begins to lean toward Hamilton's forward-thinking approach, it could create a clear philosophical divide within the team, one driver looking at today, the other at tomorrow. Ferrari could be forced into making difficult decisions, not just about car development, but about their very identity as a team. And now, with the exit clause exposed and public, the stakes have never been higher. Ferrari must prove, within the next 18 months, that they are capable of building a car not just good enough to win a few races, but one that can carry both of their superstar drivers into genuine title contention across an entire season. If they can't, they risk losing Leclerc right when he's entering his prime, a nightmare scenario that could haunt the team for years to come. With the 2026 regulation overhaul looming on the horizon, Ferrari's task is both simple and monumental. Rebuild Leclerc's trust, reignite his belief in the project, and prove that his dream of winning a championship in red is still alive. Anything less could see their most loyal and beloved driver turn his back on them forever, and perhaps, in a cruel twist of fate, achieve the success he always sought while wearing the colours of a rival. What Ferrari chooses to do next will define their future. The pressure is immense, the clock is ticking, and the world is watching. So, what exactly does the future hold for Ferrari? Are we standing on the brink of a historic resurgence that could see the most iconic team in Formula One rise from the ashes of its past failures and reclaim its rightful place at the summit of the sport? Or are we, instead, witnessing the slow, painful unravelling of a team shackled by its own legend? Trapped in a cycle of pressure, political infighting, and strategic missteps that no longer reflect the dominance it once embodied? This moment in time may very well become the most defining period in Ferrari's modern history, because right now, the team isn't simply fighting for points or podiums, they're battling to preserve their identity. They're wrestling with the legacy of greatness and the weight of expectation that comes with every scarlet car that rolls out of the garage. Every decision made within the walls of Maranello could echo for years, no, decades, to come. This isn't just about the next Grand Prix. This is about whether Ferrari can prove it still belongs among the elite, whether it can evolve, adapt, and lead Formula One into the future, or whether it will become a relic of past glories, remembered more for what it used to be than what it still could become. The pressure is relentless. The margin for error has narrowed to a razor's edge, and the presence of two of the most high-profile drivers on the grid, Charles Leclerc, the loyal dreamer growing increasingly restless, and Lewis Hamilton, the proven legend demanding results, only adds fuel to the fire. Their patience is not infinite. Their ambitions are not optional. And the weight of those expectations now rests squarely on the shoulders of every engineer, strategist, and decision-maker at Ferrari. Behind the scenes, critical choices are being made. Choices that could either forge a new golden era or plunge the Scuderia into another prolonged period of regret and rebuilding. The political tightrope within the team, the allocation of resources between current performance and future potential, the ability to innovate under immense scrutiny. None of these challenges will be easy to overcome, but overcome them they must, because Formula One is unforgiving. Rivals will not wait. Red Bull continues to innovate. McLaren is rising fast. Mercedes is reorganizing. And amidst all of this, Ferrari must deliver, not just to satisfy its drivers or fans, but to prove to the world that it still has the fire, the vision, and the capability to lead. This story is far from over. In fact, the most dramatic chapters may still lie ahead. There will be battles. There will be controversy. There will be defining moments that either solidify Ferrari's return to greatness or expose the cracks too deep to fix. One thing is for certain, this journey will be anything but boring, so stay locked in, subscribe to the channel,